Well, let me tell you something, brother. It's WrestleMania 37, and that means we're going back to the beginning. We're looking at the Hulkster, the original, the American made Hulk Hogan. Started off going into Hulk Hogan and went into Vince McMahon by the end. That was strange. Hello and welcome everyone to another Ringside Collectibles opening. Today we are looking at the Ringside exclusive Storm Collectibles, the original American-made Hulk Hogan. As far as I'm aware, this is the youngest iteration of Hulk Hogan that they've made into a figure, which is very, very cool. As you can see, this is when he was wearing the blue trunks, the light blue boots, and he was wearing white as well. And he also had the headband that said Hulkster. And most importantly, look, he had hair at the top of his head. Isn't that weird? Unlike the more modern NWA Hogan, which obviously he's much older than that now, because I think NWO Hogan was maybe about 20 years ago, and that's something that will make everyone feel old. But today is the day of WrestleMania 37, so what better time than to celebrate with the Hulkster? And this should be a brand new, sealed, which means that we get to release the Hulkster into the world. And also I probably just decreased the value of my box by a significant amount by simply opening it, because it was sealed up until this point. So I do hope this is all good and happy. So first off, let's look at the box. As you can see, it is the Hulkster. The background is just kind of blue painting. It does have a little signature here of the Hulkster, Mr. Hogan. But it's not an actual one, it's just printed on there. It's not actually signed by him. There's no blurb on the back of it, no information. This is one of the first Storm Collectible figures made. There was 4 in the series. There was the NWO Hogan, this one, which is the young Hogan, and there was 2 other Hulk Hogans. There was one that was like the NWO Hogan, but it was his more yellow and red gear, and I can't remember what the 4th one is. But this is what we have. As you can see, not many accessories in comparison to what you usually get with Storm Collectibles. Only 1 additional set of hands, 1 stand, and 1 additional head. So let's just jump right into it. Slides off nicely. No plastic covering for this one. So let's just see exactly what we have. So this here is the Hulkster. You may recognise him from such things as WrestleMania 1 through 7, where he was almost certainly walking in champion or walking out champion, with a few exceptions. WrestleMania 6, he lost the title to Ultimate Warrior. It's WrestleMania 7 that was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna, and Hulk Hogan came in and won it at the end, which was hilarious. Not hilarious to a lot of people back then, because a lot of people back then were really not happy about it. So let's look at the additional hands first of all. So these are slightly open grip hands, as if they're designed for holding an object or an item. The additional head is just a more... Oh, it's a little bit stuck in here. Oh, it's all falling out. Never mind. So the additional head here, very nice sculpt. It really does, they've managed to capture the Hulkster's likeness really well here, actually. Yep, as you can see, yes, there he is. That's back when he had hair. Probably mid-80s, maybe early 80s, with his long flowing hair. And let's just compare this sculpt with the NWA Hulk Hogan. NWO Hulk Hogan. NWA Hulk Hogan would be very different. And as you can see, it is entirely different. You know, they haven't even pretended to use the same sculpt. Focus camera. There we go. As you can see, a shocking amount of difference there, just in the detail and everything, even in the back of the hair. It's entirely different. Even the hair colour is different. And I imagine that is I mean, they put so much detail into the face, into the head. Oh my goodness, camera, please focus. That it makes me think that these colours are probably identical and probably correct as to what they would have been. So there you go. That's very cool to see. We'll just put the Hulkster's little shades back on them. I mean, the most iconic version of the Hulkster is obviously the red and yellow. That's what he was most known for. And if we can get a red and yellow Hulkster, then yes, I would absolutely love to get one. But I don't want the older Hulk Hogan one. So there is his little nameplate. Pretty basic, just says Hulk Hogan. It's in blue. Interesting little thing about how Hulk Hogan got his name, which many of you will probably already know. He was on a interview talk show with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was, I think it was Saturday Night Live. It might have been something else, but I think it was Saturday Night Live. And Vince McMahon was a guest on it, and he was told to bring along one wrestler, any wrestler, just to show off what the wrestling promotion was. And on the same show was Lou Ferrigno, who was the original Hulk back then. And Lou Ferrigno and Hulk Hogan got up next to each other and, did a stare down. And Hulk Hogan, well, back then he was just Hogan, was actually bigger than Lou Ferrigno, who's the Hulk. And it came up in the newspaper the following day, like wrestler bigger than the Hulk Hogan, and he was originally called the Hulk Hogan, not Hulk Hogan, and then he became Hulk Hogan, then it became the Hulkster, then Hulkamania, and so on and so forth, and it just ran from there. And one of his first big appearances was in the movie Rocky 3, where Rocky takes on Mr. T, and he plays the role of Thunderlips in that, and that is where Hogan got his first big break. And then it was not too much longer after that he beat the Iron Sheik for the World Championship. And then it wasn't too much longer after that the first Wrestlemania came around, and that's really when they started hitting the ground running big time with everything that's going on, because Wrestlemania was supposed to be this huge event that interacted not just wrestling but all media. Muhammad Ali was the guest referee of the main event. It was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper, of course. Yes, a little bit of wrestling knowledge there, but let's get into the figure. Yes. So let us see. Oh, this is quite cool. It's got the rips in the back of the fabric. I don't really like this fabric. The NWO Hogan came with fabric as well, and I don't display it with him. I think he looks better just as the plastic mould. I'll probably be doing the same with this Hulkster as well. So let us see exactly what we have. So the shoulders move out to that point, so almost T-pose. We have, they're actually quite loose. We have the butterfly joints in here, so that you can move back and forward, so that you can pose. We have the bicep swivel, which is a little bit stiff. I don't want to go forcing that any more than it wants to, so not an easy figure to get, this one. He has the double wrist joint, and actually flexes quite well, which is quite surprising considering the muscle definition in the Hulkster's 24-inch pythons, brother. The wrist movement should be the same. Yep, it's in the same ball joint that all Storm Collectibles figures have. And the other arm should be exactly the same. Yeah, it seems to be the shoulder doesn't want to move because of the muscle here in the bicep. I don't know if you can see that it rubs against this little bit here. So there is the muscle definition is actually stopping the movement of it there. So that is very, very cool. This is a soft plastic chain, the little cross. Focus. This is all fabric, and let us see the legs. So leg very stiff, needs to be very careful with them. Yeah, we can go into a split pose. We need to lower the camera down. I think I had the camera up a little bit for a previous video. One leg feels really loose and the other one feels quite solid, so I'm going to have to be very careful with that. It does have a double knee, but the knee pads are stopping it from moving much further than that. Not a lot of flexibility there. Same over here, I'm sure. Yep. You probably could move it more if you moved the knee pad out of the way, but I don't really want to go doing that. There you can actually see the ankle joint there. That is exactly how it looks. So as you can see, it moves that way, moves to the side. In later Storm Collectibles, this part's hidden. In fact, actually, I think even in the NWO Hogan, this part, well, no, you can kind of see it actually. You can see the kind of hole there, but it's much more noticeable in this one. I'm thinking maybe this one was one of the earlier ones. So that's interesting. A tiny bit of toe pivot. Almost none, actually. This is really weird. It's really awkwardly done. Same with the other foot. Exactly the same. Does he have any swivels? A little bit of thigh swivel there, but nothing anywhere else. Now I should have the ab crunch, the double movement, the pivot here at the waist and pivot here at the chest, which also allows him to turn and make it look kind of realistic. So let us try removing. Oh, the arm's a little bit stuck there. Like it doesn't move beyond this part. I'm wondering if there's a bit of the plastic that's actually stopping that moving down. Curious. But okay, let us try removing the fabric part here. So this one's quite tight on. Let's see here, what's the best way to do this? Like this, maybe? I don't really want to go damaging the fabric, but I kind of want to show like what the entire figure looks like, what the ab structure looks like underneath the cloth. So we're going to try and get this. Like the thing is, if it's sticking here, then it's going to be much more difficult to get past these shoulders here. It might just have to stay on. We had a much easier instance with the NWO Hogan. But the NWO Hogan, it was ripped down the side here, so it was just a case of taking it off. But no, maybe he's kind of stuck with it. It's interesting though, because in the back it shows that it is removable, but I'm not exactly sure how you would go about doing that. There you go, the back of the box shows you that part there. The only way I can think is if we remove the shoulders, and I really don't want to go removing the shoulders on an old figure like this, because if any of that part kind of breaks, it would not be easy to get a replacement for this figure, is what I'm trying to say. In terms of the head we should be able to remove. It should just be on a head swivel. This is, I kind of like this head actually. I kind of want to keep this head on here. But it does just pull off, the same as all the other ones. You know what, no, we're just going to keep that head exactly as it is. If at some point later on I do decide to remove the cloth top, then I'll show that in a later video. But for the moment, I think we're just going to leave him as he is. So, as it is Wrestlemania, let us put him into the correct pose. Have to get that cannon up there, brother. And then, let's see here, can we do this? Maybe extend it out. There we are. How does that look? If we rotate the camera up just a little bit, and there you go. There is probably 30 years difference of Hulksters Try and rotate him a little bit so that he's in the right way. And yes, so last little thing, we shall just do a little size comparison. So let us just show as you can see, the NWO Hulkster is identical height to this version. And let us just see how he compares with some other characters. So let us look at the Mortal Kombat ninjas. So there is Smoke to compare him to. And just rotate him a little bit. And there you can see. So, did I say Smoke? I meant Scorpion. That was weird. So yes, Scorpion, almost exactly the same size as the Hulkster. Let's look at the McFarlane Mortal Kombat figures. So let's bring in Katana. As you can see, McFarlane figures a little bit taller. So if you're trying to have your Hulkster put in with the Mortal Kombat McFarlane series, or just McFarlane series in general, Spawn or whatever, that's what he's going to look like. Let's bring in more strong collectibles. Kazuya. And Kazuya's actually a pretty good height for the Hulkster, if I'm honest. It's interesting. I thought Kazuya would be much taller, but he's actually pretty good height-wise. And then we'll bring in Shin Akuma, who still having problems standing. There we go. And yeah, even in terms of Shin Akuma, he's pretty good height. Shin Akuma's a little bit taller. Same with Kazuya, but not by much, only a small amount. We'll bring in Marvel Legends. So as you can see, the Marvel Legends figures are quite a little bit shorter than the Strong Collectibles. So bear that in mind if you're planning to have your Hulkster standing next to your Marvel Legends. We'll bring in the Cyber Smoke, which, as you can see, even that's a pretty good height. Yeah. So it looks like Hulk Hogan's just a little bit taller than Cyber Smoke. I'm curious. Let's bring in the scissors of judging size. And as you can see, well, they're about the same height actually. Interesting. And now let's bring in a couple of boss characters. So, we'll start off with the Emperor of Outworld. He is not King, he is Khan, he is Shao Kahn. And Shao Kahn, little bit taller than the Hulkster there, if you'd stand. And obviously Shao Kahn a little bit more muscular, which Hulkster will not be happy with, but he is Emperor of the entirety of Outworld. Next up, let's bring in the Prince of the Shokan, Goro, who is quite a bit massive. Very, very similar style to Hogan versus Andre, I suppose. And last, we'll bring in Motaro and show him off from Mortal Kombat 3. And there you can see the... Well, let's move Goro to the back a little bit here. And there you can see the scale difference of Motaro along with the Hulkster. And as you can see, Motaro is absolutely ginormous. So, I think that's going to be it for this video. So, everyone that's watching Wrestlemania, I hope you have a wonderful, pleasant show. I hope it's good. And let's just do a little bit of pairing here. In fact, actually, we don't want Goro to fall over, but can we do the WrestleMania 3 pose? Sure we can. We need Goro just to lean forward just a little bit. If you would stand, Goro has always been, he's really, really top heavy as a character, and the feet are really not very responsive, which makes getting him into an exact pose not exactly easy. Especially trying to get him to stand just upright. Like, if you put one leg in front of the other, it gives you a little bit more balance. Oh my goodness. You know, maybe we can't do this. There we go. Okay, there we have it. So, yes, there you have it. There would be the Hulkster going to defend Earthrealm against Outworld forces in Mortal Kombat 1 as he's about to slam Goro the Giant. And I think that's going to be it for this video, folks. So I do hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have a lovely WrestleMania. And remember, if you do enjoy these videos, please give us a like, share and subscribe. It's only a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Jump cut now. As you can see, we did finally manage to get the American-made fabric shirt off of the Hulkster. And it was not easy to do, and it's definitely not recommended. I did have to remove both the shoulders, and it's very interesting to see because these figures are a little bit different from the more modern ones. Even that butterfly, our elbow looks a little bit incorrect. I'm not sure I got this part in quite the way that it should have been done, but there you can see the muscle definition of the Hulkster. It's a little bit different. It's the same kind of mould, but it's a different colour they've used, so you can see the comparison there. And yes, actually I think it does look quite good. It's got all the back definition as well. I think this one is probably the same mould that they've used, but this one does have a slightly different look to it. I think this is maybe when he was more doing his suntan beds and such, wanting to get that bronze colour. But yes, now that we have this, we can get him into various different poses. We can do the lean in and the what's it called? The muscle man? Or is that the other one? Do things like that to show off the Hulkster doing his very muscular pose and staring right down the camera. They really have done an amazing job with the face sculpt. Like, it really does look very, very exact, like the Hulkster. So yes, I think that is going to be it this time for sure. It doesn't look quite as good with the arms up, largely because of these parts here, but that can be hidden if you rotate the arms down a little bit. But once again, the biceps get in the way, but you can do a pretty good cannon pose. It looks pretty decent. Also, I think the chain isn't on quite properly. I think it's meant to be a little bit more under the hair. We could do something a little bit like that. Does that look a little bit better? Still looks like it's kind of like floating in midair. But yeah, overall, I think this is a really, really cool Hulk Hogan. I think if you are a Hulk Hogan fan and you want a really nice looking face sculpt, this is probably one of the best out there. If you can find the bloody thing, because it's rare as hell. But if you do ever see it, and it's a good price, don't go spending crazy amounts on it. Well, unless, you know, you want to. Like, if you really want them, go ahead, spend the crazy money. In retrospect, I probably did. I can't remember how much I spent on them, but probably too much is the answer. But I just wanted it so that I can have my NWO Hogan and the young Hogan. If I ever see a Hogan like this that's got the yellow pants and the red boots and everything, I'll probably go for that as well. But other than that, I think that's going to be me for Hulksters. And I don't believe Strong Collectibles did any other wrestlers other than Hulk Hogan. I think SH Figure Arts did The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H and things. There's some Ultimate versions, which is higher than the Mattel Elites. Is it Mattel? I think it's Mattel. But in terms of high quality, this is one of the higher grade ones that you can actually get for your collection. I'll just try and pose his chest up a little bit there. There we are. How's that look? Looks a little bit nicer, doesn't it? Maybe it doesn't actually. I think I actually preferred the look before. There's this big hole here in the gap, so yeah, that's. But I mean, you don't normally see that with Strong Collectible figures. But then this is a really old Strong Collectible figure. It's one of the original ones, I believe, that they made. So that's going to be it for this video. And I've already did the outro. You already heard all that. But like, share, subscribe if you can. We will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.